Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Now today's first story comes from Jay Stark in 1995, which is the boyfriend who says, am I the arsehole for telling my girlfriend to choose me or a best friend? My girlfriend, 25 female, and I, 26 male, have been together for 4 years. She's been best friends with her friend, also 25 female, since middle school. Before I came into the picture, they were attached at the hip, and then the BFF got jealous of how often my girlfriend and I were together. For our entire relationship, she's been manipulative of my girlfriend and not at all understanding, especially when my girlfriend cancels plans with the BFF to hang out with me. She has also said repeatedly that I'm abusive and controlling, even though she exclusively dates guys who are assholes. It all came to a head tonight when we were all out together. The BFF was going on and on about her new job, and my girlfriend finally interrupted to talk about our vacation instead. The BFF got upset and asked if my girlfriend even knew where she worked because my girlfriend was never around anymore. The BFF started crying in the middle of a bar about how her feelings get hurt when my girlfriend cancels on their plans or doesn't reply to texts. I had enough and I asked why was she so obsessed with my girlfriend and about our relationship and always needed to lie to get attention, about me being controlling. Then her blowhard boyfriend got involved and threatened me with physical violence. Everyone split up after that, and the BFF texted my girlfriend to try to manipulate her some more by saying sorry she started the fight and saying she wanted some space for a while. My girlfriend started crying about how much it all upsets her, and after 4 years, I was just kind of tired of it and told her she needed to choose between me and the BFF. She got upset with me and told me that she couldn't choose between us, and it wasn't fair to ask her, even though the BFF is always starting drama. Am I the arsehole here? Or is the BFF just a psycho? And we do have some updates to this post, as well as one of the girlfriend's friends replying to what OP said. So we're going to start off with Moon Macabre, which isn't the friend, who says, you're the arsehole. What makes you think you have the right to give your girlfriend an ultimatum because you don't like her best friend? Her best friend is right. When you make plans with someone and then ditch them for your boyfriend, even once, that's bad. But over and over again, is she ditching the plans because maybe you are the manipulator here? You don't seem like a reliable narrator at all. The friend replies saying he's not a reliable narrator. He left out half the story and still came out sounding like the arsehole. Bored again says you're the arsehole. Your girlfriend cancelling plans to hang out with you is a dick move. That's not BFF for being manipulative. Her apologizing is not being manipulative. If that's how you describe the situation, I wonder if BFF is right about you being controlling. Booty hole detective says you're the arsehole. Please read your own post and realize how controlling you come off. And quotes, not at all understanding, especially when my girlfriend cancels plans with a BFF to hang out with me. And goes on to say, why should she be understanding of that? And quotes again, my girlfriend finally interrupted to talk about our vacation instead. And then says interrupted. You know, instead of waiting for a natural break or lull in conversation. Better cut her off because whatever she's saying can't be nearly as interesting as your vacation. The BFF seems to have you pegged. And one more from Little Miss Psycho says you're the arsehole unless you're leaving something major out of your story. As far as I can tell, BFF's only crimes are 1. Being upset that her friend regularly dumps her to be with you, even after they've made plans. 2. Wanted to talk about her new job, which she was clearly excited about and so rambled on a bit. 3. Worries that you are controlling your girlfriend, which frankly, considering since you got together, your girlfriend has been isolating herself away from a girl who she's known since middle school. I can understand the concern. Sorry, I doubt you're going to get the response you want here. Sounds like you and girlfriend have been treating BFF badly recently and maybe her reactions have been over the top and drama causing, but you have no rights to outright insist someone choose between you and their best friend. Especially when you seem to be the main conflict in their relationship. And as I mentioned, a friend of his girlfriend finds the post and leaves their own comment which says, you're the arsehole Jake. Until now, I've been a casual reader of this sub, but after reading this one, I had to make an account and reply because I'm fairly certain I'm part of this friend circle and witnessed this all go down last night. Everyone is right that you are the most unreliable narrator who left out so many details. Let me clear those up. First, we all asked about her new job and wanted to hear all the details. She's so excited about it because it's her dream job, which your girlfriend knows. That girl worked her ass off to get it, so she gets to talk as much as she wants about it. You two don't like hearing about anything that isn't about yourselves, specifically about you, Jake. Second, your girlfriend has never known how to balance her boyfriend with healthy friend relationships. I've known them both since college. She's insecure, immature, and self-centered. That's how you're able to control her. The only reason you two get invited anywhere anymore is because her BFF and her boyfriend insist it would be rude not to invite her, because you are a package deal. We're stuck with you too. Third, you were never threatened with physical violence. You're a 6'4" dude who got in a crying girl's face to scream at her, and her boyfriend told you to back up and put himself in between the both of you. Fourth, she was only crying because you were calling her names. This also isn't the first time you've called her names. You literally called her a psycho in your post. Fifth, you make your girlfriend cancel on this poor girl at least 1 to 2 times a month. I've seen the text from your girlfriend canceling because you came up with some bullshit about how you don't get enough time with her. Sixth, she only calls you controlling arsehole because you are one. You convinced your girlfriend to stop talking to her for a period of time when she was very depressed and suicidal because you said her being suicidal was also manipulation. Seventh, if anyone is manipulative in that friendship, it's your girlfriend. I've also seen the text where she told her BFF not to text her while she's with you, at your request, not to expect a response from her ever because she doesn't deserve one, and not to get upset when she cancels because she isn't owed any time. The girl apologizes so much because your girlfriend has convinced her she's a bad person, needy or clingy. Lastly, Jake, if this is you, I don't really see how it couldn't be unless there are 2 arsehole guys who think they are related to Tony Stark and went off on their girlfriend's BFFs in a bar last night. The entire friend group agrees you're the arsehole. I'll be sending them all the screenshots of this post. To which the OP, the boyfriend, simply replies to that post saying, mind your own business because you don't know the half of what goes on. And then the two of them start basically talking in this post while replying to each other. So girlfriend's friend says, buddy, you made it the world business, lol. Now you're mad that you, A, got caught and B, got pegged as the arsehole. If you want to talk about it, text me because I'm not about to fight with you on here. The boyfriend replies, I don't get why you had to come on here and start drama. I was just venting because this always happens when we get together as a group. She goes nuts, he gets all big and tough, and you stick your nose where it doesn't belong. The friend replies, first, you're the one who posted to start drama. Second, good thing it's Sunday because you need some quality time with Jesus and a therapist. Third, you were never threatened. You picked a fight with a girl who's a foot shorter than you and her boyfriend told you to stop. Period. End of story. Everyone stay tuned for Jake's next post. Am I the asshole for lying on Reddit and getting caught? She then goes on to say he was never threatened. He was in the girl's face berating her when her boyfriend stepped in between them and told him to back off. That's it. They left right after that because she was upset and nobody could have fun after that. And Short Daydreamer asked for some more info. They said, can you keep us updated? I don't really feel like it's my place to ask for more details, but are the girlfriend and her BFF okay? The BFF seems to be going through a lot, especially with the depression and losing her friend to this guy. Also, it seems like the girlfriend is genuinely being manipulated and isolated from her friends because of this guy. They both sound like they deserve better. The friend replies saying, I talked to her BFF after I saw this post and she gave me permission to share anything needed to clear things up. She's really embarrassed that now there wasn't just a public argument, but it was published to thousands of people on the internet, even if her name isn't attached to it. She's a genuinely kind person who had a rough period in her life 2 to 3 years ago. Thankfully, she's in a better place emotionally now than she was back then. OP wasn't wrong about how often she apologizes, but she's not doing it to manipulate anyone. She actually thinks that she's to blame for these types of situations when they occur because OP and his girlfriend tell her that she's to blame. From what I understand, she's firm in her decision to take some time away from OP's girlfriend. She thinks that's the best thing for her mental health right now, so obviously everyone will support her. As for the girlfriend, she does deserve better than OP. He's a very controlling and jealous guy. She's not assertive at all and has a lot of her own problems, which makes it easy for him to assert this level of control over her. I don't think she's a bad person at all, but she's always gotten her self-worth through having a boyfriend, and that shows in her actions. A lot of our friends are just done with having that level of toxicity in the friend group, but her BFF and her BFF's boyfriend always advocate on the girlfriend's behalf so that she's not totally isolated and keeps being invited to everything. It then got posted to the Am I the Devil subreddit or relinked or whatever, and the friend came in again saying, "Friend here, 100% real unfortunately. He takes everyone who was there that night to figure out who it was before bringing it back to Reddit instead of keeping it private like an adult would. He honestly thought he would find someone who agreed with him." And then the friend comes back one more time to update the post, which says the BFF mentioned in this post is fine. I told her that everyone is on her side, which has made her feel a little better about it. She's in a really good place in her life right now and is grateful for anyone who's reached out. The girlfriend is now single. The post and the backlash from everyone, including her mum, made her realize that he was such a shitty guy. I know some people worried about domestic violence, but she's staying with people right now. Clearly, I'm not going to say who because Jake's probably still lurking. She knows that people are here if she wants to talk. Not sure where their friendship stands right now, but that's for them to work out while everyone else supports them. Jake, the OP, has been blocked on all social media by basically everyone. Hopefully he finds himself a good therapist. Thank you to everyone who has commented, messaged and reached out. You're all amazing people for caring about two girls you don't even know. Keep standing up for those who need it. This isn't an uncommon situation, so don't be afraid to reach out if you need help or you think someone needs help. And it's one of those ones where I was reading it and I was thinking, how can you not step back or after you read your own post and see some of the things you were saying are actually just completely out there, For our entire relationship, she's been manipulative of my girlfriend and not understanding, especially when my girlfriend cancels plans with a BFF to hang out with me. And when she's crying in the middle of a bar about her feelings being hurt, about when she gets cancelled on like that, or her friend doesn't reply to her text, you had enough and you asked why she was so obsessed with my girlfriend and our relationship and always needs to lie to get attention, which the friend then confirmed that, while she was crying, you was in her face about this as well. Holy shit, how can you not step back and see how awful that is? But I'm glad OP did come back into the post to confirm that, the girlfriend's friend is now okay, that the girlfriend is okay as well and has moved on with their life because it sounded like they could have been in a shitty situation as well. But now I'm going to turn it to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from FreshFries0203, who says, "Am I the arsehole for refusing to leave my friend's flat, even though it disrespected his girlfriend's boundaries? I, 24 female, moved abroad with my boyfriend after graduating university 18 months ago. One of my best friends from uni, Callum, 24 male, returned to start his PhD and is living in a shared accommodation block. I was visiting my family back home this weekend and had arranged a day to visit Callum and see my old uni town again, and then had planned to go to the airport from there, as it's way nearer than my hometown. Lol. Callum had offered me to crash on a blow-up mattress on his floor, and I very happily accepted rather than shell out on a hotel. When I got to Callum's, he'd invited his friends in the block to hang out, and I met his new girlfriend, Hannah, for the first time. They'd been together a few months, but we hadn't had the chance to meet yet. I liked her loads at first and thought she and Callum were super sweet together. I've known Callum for ages and I've never seen him this happy. When the group started to break up for the evening, she asked me where I was planning on staying for the night. I was surprised that she didn't know and told her what Callum had offered. She then took me outside and asked me to please stay somewhere else that night as she felt uncomfortable with a female friend staying in his room. I didn't really have anywhere else to go, so I said that unless she could help me with a hotel room at this late stage, I couldn't really go anywhere. She then said that I was disrespecting her boundaries with her boyfriend and that in any case, now she was going to stay with Callum and it would be inappropriate for me to be there. She lives in a neighbouring block, so I asked her why she couldn't just return there, and she said she had the right to decide which women get to share her boyfriend's room, especially if it's an old female friend who I don't know if she's had a history with him. To be clear, there is no history there at all on either side, and I told her this, but she said she had no way of knowing if I was telling the truth. Again, I refused to leave. We had arranged this ages ago, and she couldn't just undo that last minute unilaterally just because she was his girlfriend. And with that, I went back inside and we said nothing more on it. I stayed the night on the blow-up mattress and left really early this morning. I'm at work now and just got a text from Callum asking if we can call this evening because he just got a text from Hannah saying that I disrespected her boundaries and that he needs to cut me off. He's one of my closest friends and I don't want to lose him. So I'm wondering if I should apologize. My boyfriend thinks that this is ridiculous and if anyone needs to apologize, it's her. But at this point, I'm not sure. Am I the arsehole? And Dinko asks some more information. They say not the arsehole, not your fault Callum didn't inform her. Info, as she blew up at you, did you have him take part in the discussion at some point? And if so, what did he contribute? Also, her logic is twisted. If he doesn't trust you, then she trusts her own boyfriend neither. OP replies saying, I did say we should talk to Callum about this, but she said she would. And I thought that made sense because it's their relationship issue as far as I'm concerned. And to be honest, I didn't want to tell Callum. I found it weird right then and there, when I just met her and had seen how happy he seemed. Maybe it's naive of me, but I didn't want to come in and ruin it for him. When we went back inside, I didn't see them for a little bit, so I assumed they were talking about it. But I guess they weren't because he didn't say anything about it last night and was still asleep this morning when I left. It was 4 a.m. and now I have this text. And I can't blame you for not wanting to bring it up there and then. You know, you just met her and you don't want to create an awkward situation between them. You think they're happy, etc., etc. And I can't blame you for not wanting to cause a storm immediately. But it is ringing alarm bells all over the place that, you know, she took you outside to talk about this rather than bring it up with him. And I could say, you know, it's pretty daft of Callum not to bring it up in the first place either and her to find out this way. But at the same time, I'm thinking there's probably more to it here that why he didn't say it in the first place. And we do have an update to this post at the moment, but it'd be very interesting to know what Hannah's been saying to Callum behind your back. All we know is that she's saying you disrespected her boundaries and that he needs to cut you off. So she's isolating Callum in this way, and we don't know exactly what we said. I doubt it very much was the truth. Otherwise, I'd assume Callum would be saying, no, I invited her to stay around because she's my friend. So again, we're seeing controlling behavior from Hannah here. So I think the update will be interesting to see what Callum actually says. But I certainly wouldn't be apologizing for it at all because you've done absolutely nothing wrong. You was invited a place to stay, you took it, rightly so. But hey, Mallory says not the arsehole. This was prearranged and it's not your fault that he didn't tell her / clear it with her. She could have offered you her apartment if she wanted to stay with her boyfriend and her room was going to be empty. Also, he could have gone to stay with her if she had such an issue. It boils down to the fact that he did not communicate this to her. It's not your issue to deal with. Be honest with your friend when he calls. His girlfriend has probably not told him the full story. Coldstream Capel says, not the arsehole, you've done nothing to apologize for. You didn't hide anything and were transparent. If Callum didn't tell Hannah because he knew she would react badly, that's his issue. It's a pretty big red flag that Hannah is already trying to control who Callum interacts with. And if he starts cutting off people she doesn't like, then I suspect even his family will soon be on the cutoff list. Hopefully someone will manage to get through to him and Hannah will be sent on her way. Upstairs Kitchen says not the arsehole is not Hannah's flat and she does not get to dictate who stays there. What she did was make an unreasonable demand, not set a boundary. Do not let this go. You would not only be abandoning your friendship with Callum, you'd be abandoning him to an abusive relationship. Explain to Callum and any mutual friends that you have with him that Hannah wanted to kick you out onto the streets with no alternative accommodation late at night. He needs to understand how inappropriate this is. And one more from Left Car who says not the arsehole. It was certainly silly of Callum not to tell her, but it was absurd for her to take you outside and demand you leave. That also suggests to me that she knows it was not justified. Otherwise she would have taken it up directly with Callum. Your response is perfectly fine. It was late and you had nowhere to go. I'm not sure what you would be apologizing for. She's the one who disrespected you by trying to kick you out somewhere she does not live, and Callum by trying to do this to you instead of speaking with him. She doesn't really have any claim on setting such boundaries with you. He should run a mile, but sadly if he decides to acquiesce to his girlfriend's demands, there's not much you can do about it. You can say, sorry, you're in a difficult situation. But it's not like an apology to anyone here is going to stop her from trying to make him cut you off. Then OP updates the post, which says, "Thank you to everyone who commented, I read it all, and a quick clarification. The offer was never to share his bed, it was always the blow-up mattress, that's our own boundary. The building has no communal area other than a lobby. I couldn't have slept there. Callum and I called and I did what a lot of you said. 1, not apologize, and 2, just let it out exactly as it happened. I even read from my post. The big surprise, he had told her in advance and she had said it was okay. As I commented, I had assumed that they had discussed it on the night, but my later guess was correct. She had said nothing. He then said when Hannah texted telling him to cut me off, he told her he wanted to talk to me first about what happened, and then she ghosted him. He apologized profusely to me and said that he needed to talk to her ASAP. A girlfriend of Callum's friend, Sarah, who was there, messaged after we called because she read this post and thought it was me. She told me that she's in a group chat with some others, and Hannah, who had been ranting about how I'd taken her outside to tell her that even if she was Callum's new girlfriend, I was his real girl because I was his best girlfriend and that she shouldn't think about coming between us. And that I told her that Callum might be hers now, but he'll always be my Callum. What? Sarah then told me this happened twice before, where Hannah has told Callum that a girl he was friends with needed to be cut off, and she would then tell the group chat that they said things like, "You're no good for him, we'd be together," etc. Sarah now suspected Hannah was making all this up. So I called Callum again and told him what Sarah had said. He was very upset. Most of the time, Hannah hadn't really given him a reason to cut off these other girls, just that if he respected her, he'd trust that these girls needed to be cut off because it's girl code. He talked to Hannah in person this morning and she confessed that she made it all up about me and the other girls. She didn't want other girls to even be an option for him to be close to if they were going to be in a relationship, so she persuaded Callum into breaking off the friendships, and he didn't want to lose her, so he complied. Her words, "I wanted to save you from the opportunity to put another woman above me." He's not had a great experience with previous girlfriends being really emotionally distant, and I think Hannah was the opposite in that. She would lavish him with affection when he did things she wanted. Not surprisingly, he broke up with her and has now apologized to the other girls and again to me. And I'm very glad in this situation to hear OP called up Callum again and told him what Sarah had said and the words, "I wanted to save you from the opportunity to put another woman above me." Holy shit, she was isolating him from the people that he loved. And what does the girl code thing mean? I was totally confused by that because it's girl code. I was like, what? And I always think it'd be interesting to get Callum's side of this now because he was the one that was going through it. He was the one that was being isolated in this situation. So I wonder how he feels now he's out of it. Obviously, he's going to be sad because he just lost a relationship, however toxic it is. But you often hear stories like this where people are being controlled and manipulated that, you know, it's like a fog has been lifted. You hear that. It might not be the case for Callum, obviously, but you often hear that and then you start to spot things that was going on in your relationship beforehand. Things that are not going on in a normal relationship where they were being manipulated, where they're being controlled. I don't know. What do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for spending your time with me today, getting involved in the stories. Your love, support, and time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for getting involved, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day.